In Islam, the recitation of the Quran is itself a revered act of worship. While reciting any part of the Quran is beneficial, specific chapters, surahs, and verses have been highlighted in the Quran, the Hadith, sayings of the Prophet Muhammad pbuh, and the Sunnah, his practices, for particular times, days, and occasions due to their unique virtues and blessings. Here is a detailed breakdown of these recommendations, categorized for clarity. A. Daily recitations. These are considered general practices for daily protection and immense spiritual reward. Surah al-Fatiha, the opening, recited in every unit of every prayer. It is considered the greatest surah and a cure, ruqya. Ayat al-Kursi, the throne verse, Surah al-Baqarah 2, 255, occasion, after every obligatory, fard, prayer, before going to sleep, and for protection against evil. Source: the Prophet, pbuh, said, "Whoever recites Ayat al-Kursi after every obligatory prayer, nothing prevents him from entering paradise except death." Sunan and Nasa'i. The last two verses of Surah al-Baqarah, 2, 285 to 286, occasion, before going to sleep. Source: whoever recites the last two verses of Surah al-Baqarah at night, that will be sufficient for him. Sahih al-Bukhari. Surah al-Mulk, the Sovereignty, chapter 67, occasion, every night before sleeping. Source: there is a surah in the Quran of 30 verses which will intercede for its reciter until he is forgiven. Surah Tabarak Aladi by Yadihul Mulk, Surah al-Mulk, Sunan at Tirmidhi, Abu Dawood. Surah as-Sajda, the Prostration, 32, and Amp, Surah al-Insan, the Man, 76, occasion, on Friday mornings, Fajr prayer. Source: the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to recite these two surahs in the Fajr prayer on Fridays. Sahih al-Bukhari. Surah al-Kafirun, the Disbelievers, 109, and Amp, Surah al-Ikhlas, the Sincerity, 112. Occasion: before sleeping, as it is a declaration of disassociation from shirk and affirmation of pure tawheed. Source: recite them before you sleep, it is a disavowal of shirk. Sunan Abi Dawood. B. Weekly recitations, especially for Friday Jumu'ah. Friday holds special significance in Islam. Surah al-Kahf, the Cave, 18, occasion, recite every Friday, from sunset on Thursday to sunset on Friday. Source: whoever recites Surah al-Kahf on Friday, a light will shine for him between the two Fridays. Al-Bayhaqi, benefit. It is a protection from the trial of the Dajjal, false messiah. See occasion-specific recitations. 1. For protection and Amp, healing, ruqya. The Muawwid, the seeking refuge surahs, Al-Falaq, 113, and An-Nas, 114. Occasion, for protection from evil eye, black magic, and all forms of harm. Recite them and blow over yourself, especially before sleeping. Source: the Prophet, pbuh, said, "No seeker of refuge can seek refuge with anything like these two." Sunan Abi Dawood. Surah al-Fatiha, occasion, used as a ruqya for healing. A companion recited it for a tribal chief who was poisoned, and he was cured. Sahih al-Bukhari. 2. During prayer, salah. While any surah can be recited, some were frequently recited by the Prophet, pbuh, in specific prayers. In the Fajr, dawn, prayer, he would often recite longer mufassal surahs, from Surah al-Hujurat to An-Nas. For example, he recited Surah as-Sajda and Al-Insan on Fridays. In the Jumu'ah, Friday, prayer, he would often recite Surah Al-A'la, 87, in the first rak'ah and Surah Al-Ghashiyah, 88, in the second. Sahih Muslim. 3. During travel. Surah At-Tawbah, 9, and Surah Al-Ikhlas, 112, for protection when stopping or resting at a place. Source. When stopping during a journey, the Prophet, PBUH, would recite Surah At-Tawbah and Surah Al-Ikhlas, seeking protection for his belongings. Musnad Ahmad. 4. For the deceased. There is no specific sunnah that mandates reciting a particular surah for the dead. However, it is a common and praiseworthy practice among Muslims to recite the Quran and dedicate the reward to the deceased. Surah Yasin, 36, is often recited based on the hadith, "Recite Yasin over your dying." Sunan Abi Dawood, though scholars differ on its interpretation, for the dying or for the dead. 5. During major life events. Marriage. While not a direct sunnah, it is a blessed practice to recite verses or surahs that invoke blessings and stability, such as Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah An-Nisa, 4-1, or Surah Ar-Rum, 30-21. Entering a house, recite Bismillah and the supplication for entering a home. While not a specific surah, reciting general Quranic verses for blessing is encouraged. Important notes and cautions. Intention, niyyah, is key. The primary intention for all recitation should be to seek the pleasure of Allah and to draw closer to Him. The specific blessings are a mercy from Allah, not the ultimate goal. Authenticity of hadith. Some recommendations you might hear are based on very weak, da'if, or fabricated, maudi, narrations. The list above is based on generally accepted authentic or good, Hasan, hadiths. No compulsion. These are recommended acts, mustahab, not obligatory. A Muslim is rewarded for reciting any part of the Quran at any time. In summary, the Quran is a guide and a healing for every aspect of a believer's life. These specific recommendations provide a framework for drawing maximum benefit and blessings from its recitation, aligning one's daily, weekly, and occasional routines with the remembrance of Allah.